Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Once Upon a Time, Season 4, Episode 6. I'm not going to bore anyone with a whole 5-minute, 10-minute ramble about absences and whatnot. Please, I sum everything up in my end of 2023 review, so we can skip over all of that and just get straight back into what we're here for. I'm glad to be back. I'm in a much better place. Look at me. I've got my big beard back. I think I've lost a little bit of weight. As I said in the previous video, I've lost over 40 pounds over the course of the last few months. I've really been turning my life around, but as I've sort of been neglecting the channel, obviously, and that's going to stop now. I'm determined to make 2024 a very good year, and what better way to start us off than returning to a series so close to my heart. So let's get started. I did, of course, after spending so many months without watching more, obviously I'm going to forget a lot of what's been happening, and so I did do a rewatch. I was a very good boy. I rewatched the first 5 episodes of the season, so I'm all caught up again on what's going on. We had the whole thing of Regina slowly opening back up to Emma after the mistake of saving Maid Marian and Regina's relationship and blah blah blah. I really enjoyed everything that was happening between them and how Regina was like, I don't want to kill you, which was the most tsundere way ever of saying there is a route to friendship, but it's just gonna take a little bit, and that's fine. I am curious as to when we're going to see more of Henry doing his apprenticeship with Gold as a secret ploy to help Regina gather information, I think was the thing. I really enjoyed seeing the Will Scarlet stuff again. I really did. With Mary Margaret pardoning him and him just taking it and running with it. Marvellous stuff. And of course, who can forget all of the Hook and Emma things that happened. That was very rewarding to experience again, I will say that. I'm looking forward to more moments between them. So obviously the big thing that we ended on last time was the sudden reveal. Oh, what a cliffhanger I left you guys on, eh? In terms of my reactions to what comes next. Very sorry about that. We suddenly see on the camera, she's right there. So what does this mean? Well, obviously we're going to find out. Obviously Emma still doesn't really recall talking to the Snow Queen at all. Like, and there's photos of her talking with her and everything. And now we find out that the Snow Queen knew Emma from a time when she was going around foster homes. And I'm very curious as to where Emma's memory went and what the specific connection is between them, or if they crossed paths by accident. Oh yeah, there was also that whole thing in the last episode about how you can't come back after breaking someone's trust. But I think I even pointed out in a previous reaction, this series has proven that statement wrong several times. Think of all of the reformed villains we've got on the main cast who have betrayed and murdered plenty of people. You know, morality becomes more and more relative the further you get into this show. And I do like how Emma was softly proven wrong. And I like how, as an antithesis to what she was saying, her and Regina do seem to be steering back towards the friendship zone. But we'll see how long it takes until they are besties. We'll see. Anyway, I have no idea what to expect going forward. I assume Emma's going to want to investigate the Snow Queen even further, especially because, as she said to Sydney, you know, better get a coat, it's going to get cold around here. She is planning on chilling things up, so let's hope Once Upon a Time knows how to heat things up going forward. Let's go! what is it with this show and being stellar? It just doesn't stop. Even when you get an episode, I can't even bring one to mind right now, but even when there's an episode that doesn't like stand shoulder to shoulder with the rest, it's still leagues above your average thing you could turn and see on the TV in the modern day. This show's standard is through the roof. It really is. Like, I just can't believe that no matter what episode I decide to load up, after it's finished, I will feel happy. I will feel like I just watched some genuine entertainment. Wow. Okay, yeah, let me get rid of you. There we go. As I said, I'm rusty. Oh my gosh, the quality is something I didn't realize I missed so badly. Because obviously I haven't touched this show in months, and oh my gosh, you don't know how much you miss something. Oh my goodness, that's some good drug. That's Once Upon a Time straight into my veins. I love it. Okay, so the thing that overrode this episode was obviously the backstory between Anna and Belle, and how Belle hesitated, which led Anna to fall, and she has carried this guilt with her. So I'm glad I picked up that Belle kept giving like nervous, guilty looks when she was talking about not having memories or being of much help in finding Anna. I love it. I love that we got this. So obviously the big overarching thing was her guilt about this, and then how all of her doubts were played upon in the mirror, telling her about the fake dagger and stuff. And the tragic thing is that part was true, and Belle still doesn't know. That's the kicker for me. Wow. The pain I felt, right? She was so close to figuring it all out. Like, if Rumpel had his opportunity to come clean, he really did. While Belle was like spilling how bad she felt about what she'd done and stuff like that, and like, how could I ever doubt you and stuff like that, and like, I gave in to my selfish desires, I did a bad thing, and blah blah blah. Like, that was the perfect time for Rumpel in that moment of vulnerability to be like, well, in full transparency, the part about the dagger is true, because I am still too afraid of giving my control to anyone, even the one I love, and that is something I still need to work on. And he could have tried to get out, but of course it plays into how he's been built up as someone who is overall a sort of coward. Like, he's obviously way less of one than he was before he got his powers, but it's still there inside him. That like, he wants to avoid conflict and loss of control where he can. Like, he does not handle pressure very well. He will always deflect. He will always lie. He will always try and get out of it. And that's just part of who he is. But I cannot describe how painful it was to see the nerve ending so close to touching in that moment, and how Belle was confessing all these things that Rumpel himself is guilty of, and you can see it flickering across his consciousness every time he gets close to being found out, or anytime he is reminded of what he himself is doing. Like, oh, the expressions on their faces, the character acting in this show carries so hard. Like, oh, and as I said earlier in the episode, I love the return of all the quips. That's something I've really missed about this show, the tight dialogue. I love the Regina style back and forth, harks back to season 1 that Gold was having with the Snow Queen. Absolutely insane bomb drop that Emma was essentially being groomed to be the third party in this family, and like I just said, I'm not the only blonde. Like, but she knew that she was the savior and everything. I'm so interested to learn more. I'm sure more flashbacks will be in store, but oh my gosh, I just don't know what to say. This was incredible. Obviously, coming straight back into the show, you're looking in something to keep you interested in going forward. Obviously, I would never doubt the show's ability to keep me pulled in. That was never being questioned at all. Never in a million years. But it's always nice to see this show just absolutely grab you by the scruff of the neck and just yank you in. It's great. Like, this is some interesting stuff, and it's here to let you know about it. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. But I'm just thinking back to Regina calling Killian Captain Guyliner. That has to be my, like, Discord name, like the start of April or something. I might just call myself Captain Guyliner and keep my Hook profile picture. That was an amazing quip. And I like how we did get some Henry this episode, but for a very brief let's go raid an ice cream truck cameo. Very kid-coded. But yeah, if there's one thing I can absolutely praise this episode for, above all else, it is the relationship tension between Belle and Rumple, knowing that they're so tentatively close to that secret getting exposed and the shit hitting the fan.